Hey guys, Zach Butler YGO here. We're going to do the combo video today of the Kashtira P.U.N.K updated profile that I posted yesterday. You guys hit 25 likes in just a matter of a couple hours, which was awesome. I really appreciate all the support and the positive feedback I got on it. So we're going to do 3 basic combos, and then I'll do 1 test hand too, just to kind of see. Most of the combos tend to revolve around the same 3 things. The 3 combos that we'll be doing are Z Amin and 4 blanks. The crossed designators, and in this case, the Book of Eclipse will represent 4 blank cards. Z Amin plus Kashtira Unicorn, and Z Amin, Kashtira Unicorn, and any dead P.U.N.K. So the reason why these combos work like this is because you actually have effectively 10 copies of Z Amin in your deck because of the Dark Spirits Masteries, the Ogre Dance, the Z Amins themselves, and the Emergency Teleport. That's 10 different ways to get to Z Amin, including itself. And Kashtira Unicorn, you have 7 due to the 3 Unicorn, the 3 Pressure Planet, and the Terraforming. So those are very consistent cards to see. So we're just going to do the basic combos. So if you opened up with just Z Amin and 4 dead cards in your hand, you can end at least on Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon and an IP Masquerena, or an Appaloosa for 3. So I'll show you how that goes, and then we'll go into the next combo. So for this one, you would just normal summon the Z Amin, you would pay 600 life points, and you would grab yourself a copy of Foxy Tune. You'll use your Foxy Tune discarding itself, and then sending a blank to add your Shirakasai. You can notice I'm only grabbing half the deck too, because it's just I have everything sitting on top. And then you pay 600 and fusion into the Rising Carp, which of course then activates, and you will get yourself a copy of Wogon and Deer Note. The Wogon then pays 600 life points to grab Jam Extreme Session. So this is where you're at so far off of just the Z Amin. Then you can synchro the Wogon and the Deer Note into Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis, and then you'll use Diabolantis as Chainlink 1 and Deer Note as Chainlink 2. Deer Note should be targeting Rising Carp, in my opinion, just because of Bestials kind of existing. I don't really want to ever target my Foxy Tune or my Ogre Dance unless there's like a really specific scenario where I know I need to have that instead. But generally it's going to be the Rising Carp. So then the Diabolantis will send Fengli the Soldier Palm. Fengli will then activate to special summon itself back, since it was sent to the graveyard by a monster effect. And then we can use Diabolantis effect to turn it into a tuner. And then we send those 2 to the graveyard to summon Ultimaya Zolkin. You'll then set your Jam Extreme Session, which will trigger the Zolkin to summon Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is kind of one of the linchpins of the deck, honestly. And you'll use Ancient Fairy Dragon to destroy the Jam Extreme Session. So then you're going to add a copy of Pressured Planet Wraithsoth to your hand. And this is where it gets a little weird. So then you'll activate the Wraithsoth, and you can use the Wraithsoth here, and you're actually going to add Kashtira Rise Heart to hand. The reason for this is because you need a level 4 that you can summon off of the Ancient Fairy Dragon. So you'll use Rise Heart. You'll use the Ancient Fairy Dragon to special summon the Rise Heart, and Rise Heart only locks you into Xyz if it's summoned by its own effect. So now you have these 4. So if you wanted, you could just go for an Appaloosa for 4 here, which, you know, that's perfectly fine. An Appaloosa with 4 negates seems pretty good. Or you can synchro summon the Soldier Palm and the Ancient Fairy Dragon to make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then link the Ultimaya Zolkin and the Rise Heart into a IP Masquerena. So that's just off of the copy of Z Amin and having 4 dead cards in hand. So next we'll do Z Amin plus Kashtira Unicorn to show what you can do there. Let's just go ahead and grab one of those, and we will reset. So for this one, you start off by summoning your unicorn, and you'll use its effect to grab your Theosis. Then you will normal summon your Amin, and just like last time, you'll use Amin to grab the Foxy Tune. Foxy Tune's effect. A lot of these you're gonna notice there's a lot of repeat, but I'm still gonna walk through them just to kind of show people how to go through the motions. And then you'll summon the Shirakusai. You'll use the Shirakusai and the Amin as fusion materials to make Rising Carp, which then gets you to your Wagon and Deer Note. Wagon gets you to the Jam Extreme session. And then we go into our Diabolantis the Menacing Mantis, get back our Rising Carp, and send Soldier Palm again. Summon back the Soldier Palm, which is pretty good. And then we make Mantis a tuner, and then we summon our Ultimine Zulkin again. Set the Jam Extreme session, which then gets us to Ancient Fairy Dragon. We will destroy the Jam Extreme session and grab our Pressure Planet Wraith Zoth once again. Activate Wraith Zoth, and you can grab your Rise Heart, special summon the Rise Heart off of the Ancient Fairy Dragon effect. And so here, then you can synchro summon into a Crystal Wing, and then you'll actually take the Unicorn and the Zulkin and link those together into a AP. So then you can use your Rise Heart's effect to special summon or to banish Kashtira Birth from your deck, making it a level 7. I'm just going to use this just to show that we've increased its level. Obviously don't do this in tournaments, but this is just for the sake of the video. Then we use Theosis to special summon our Fenrir. Fenrir then adds Kashtira Scareclaw. So then you have this going for you, and then you can just summon your Kashtira Scareclaw, banishing the Birth, or the Theosis to add the Birth back. And you can then overlay into a Rise Heart for 3. Or you could, what was the other path? There was another path to do this too, and I'm trying to remember what it was. See, this is what I mean, is I'm still very much so learning as I go. Oh, that's what it was. So instead of doing it this way, you could, when you're at this point, just activate the Theosis, summon the Fenrir, and add the Scareclaw to your hand. And then if you don't mind bypassing the addition of the Theosis back, the birth from the Theosis, you could banish your Unicorn, special summon your Scareclaw Kashtira, and make a Shingri-Ira. And then you use Rise Heart, banish the Theosis from your deck to add back the Unicorn. And then you banish 3 cards from your opponent's deck, lock out one of their zones with Shingri-Ira, and then you turn that the Rise Heart into a Rise Heart. So then this ends with either a Shingri-Ira and a Rise Heart, and then the Shingri-Ira becomes, or gets another Fenrir usually from your deck, so then you have another interrupt. The Rise Heart is obviously getting extra materials, but then you also have IP and Crystal Wing, which then lets you make Nightmare Unicorn on their turn, Appaloosa, things like that. So you have multiple layers of interruptions off of the Unicorn and the Amin. And you've even added back the Unicorn to your hand here at the end of this combo too, with the way that it ends on these, or you'll end with an Rise Heart for 3 materials and a Birth on the field. And you'll still have 2 of those blank cards in your hand as well. So that's the second big combo, and that one has multiple branches as well, which is really cool. So then the last one is going to be Amin, Unicorn, and a blank Punk in hand. And we'll just use Foxy Tune to represent that. So just like last time, you use Unicorn, get your Theosis, summon your Amin, and this time we'll just grab Ochre Dance or another Amin even. It's just, you just need an extra punk. Activate the Foxy Tune to grab your copy of Shrakasai, just like last time. Like I said, same basic premise, but then instead of fusing here, actually, you Synchro Summon into Baron de Fleur. And actually, you'd probably do that before using the Foxy Tune, just to make sure that your opponent doesn't have Ash, although if they had Ash, they probably would have used it on the Unicorn or the Foxy Tune. So either way, or the Amin even. So now you have a Baron and a Shrakasai. You'll fuse the Shrakasai with the in-hand Punk to make the Rising Carp, which then will go into the Wagon and the Deer Note, which grabs the Jam Extreme Session. And just like last time, we're going to make our Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis, Diabolantis Chainlink 1, Deer Note Chainlink 2, get back Rising Carp, and then you send your Fengli. Fengli summons itself back. So so far, still pretty similar, just with an extra Baron. Make Mantis into a tuner. And then you make your Zolkin. So then you set your Jam Extreme Session and get your Ancient Fairy Dragon. Then you'll destroy the Jam Extreme Session and grab your Pressure Plate and Wraithoth. So then, I don't remember exactly how I did this. This one was a little weird. Link these two into IP. Activate Pressure Planet to grab Rise Heart. And then summon Rise Heart. Use Rise Heart's effect to banish a copy of Birth from our deck. And then activate Theosis to special summon Fenrir. Fenrir will then add the Scareclaw Kashtira to your hand. And now you have 3 level 7s, so you can go ahead and make your Arise Heart. And then you're going to actually activate your Scareclaw Kashtira, special summoning itself, and you'll banish the Theosis. Theosis will add back the Birth, and then the Arise Heart will attach the Theosis. So now your Arise Heart has 4 materials. Activate Birth, and you'll get back your Unicorn from the first step of the combo, which then you'll overlay into Shangri-Ira. So now off of that, you have IP Masquerina, Baron de Fleur, and a Rise Heart with 4 materials, a Shangri-Ira, which then summons another monster, and you have any 1 blank card in hand. So this is a very wide play. What's cool about this is that a lot of more recent lines in the Kashtira deck haven't been going quite as wide, so cards like Evenly Matched and Lava Golem have lost a lot of their inherent value. So you're actually going to probably be able to overwhelm your opponent because of this. You'll have so much protection and stuff like that too. And remember, the IP can make the Nightmare Unicorn, and then I actually took out one of the copies of Zeus for an Appaloosa, so you could even make an Appaloosa. There's multiple different ways to actually go about this with the IP, and then the Shangri-Ira, of course, can summon Fenrir, or it can summon Unicorn, which can be interruptions. You can summon a Kashtira Scareclaw, which can be a defensive card if they try to attack into one of your monsters with an effect that would really be detrimental. You, of course, have the Scareclaw to negate it, and you also have the Rise Heart to banish face down, and the Shangri-Ira to lock zones. So that's off of just the Amin, any dead Punk, and the Nightmare, the Kashtira Unicorn. So that's kind of the basic premise. I know I said I was going to do a test hand. I'll do one really quick. Most of the combos tend to try to end on the same thing, so there's really not too much to do. But we'll do one quick hand here. And if you guys have enjoyed this type of video, please let me know down below. Figuring out cool combos like this are definitely something I enjoy. If you thought of ways to make this combo better, let me know as well. Like I said in the previous video, I just am still learning as we go. This is very kind of experimental, and I just wanted to see if I could have used Ancient Fairy Dragon and Kashtira. If you want to pick up any of the cards you found in this video, use the affiliate link in the description below as well, and let's just kind of see what we can do with this. So we got our 5, we've got an Emergency Teleport, Kashtira Birth, Wraithoth, Mob Golem, and Wogon. So actually, opening up Wogon is probably like one of the coolest things of the deck, because it means that you can actually get value off of your Jam Extreme Session, which usually you don't. It's kind of just there to be a bridge card. But so we'll use Wraithoth to summon our, or to grab our Unicorn, and now we can actually do the full field that we had mentioned before with the extra Punk, Amin, and Unicorn. So Unicorn gets us to our copy of Theosis, and you'll also notice too here that we already have Kashtira Birth, so we have even more powerful plays happening already. So we'll use our Wogon, pay 600 to add a copy of the Punk Jam Extreme Session if I can ever find it. Then we will activate the Jam Extreme Session, and we'll Synchro Summon into Baronne de Fleur. Then we can Emergency Teleport. And what's really cool here is if they were to use, say, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and we didn't want to negate that because we were worried about a Nibiru, we could honestly let it go and just use Birth, bring back Unicorn, use Theosis, get Fenrir, and just continue to play from there and be totally fine, which is pretty cool. But that's just something to consider when you're going through all of these lines. Is that you can do a lot of neat little interactions like that. So we'll summon our Amin, and Amin will pay 600 to grab Ogre Dance. Just because we're going to try to deck thin as much as we can, and then we'll get our draw off of the Jam Extreme Session. We draw into Dark Spirit's Mastery. Dark Spirit's Mastery, in this case, is actually just completely dead, but that's okay. So we'll activate Ogre Dance to grab Shirakasai. Banish the Ogre Dance to summon, and then we'll use Shirakasai, pay 600 to fusion summon our Rising Carp. We'll get another draw off a Jam Extreme Session, so we draw in Impermanence now, so we have an additional defensive card. Activate the Rising Carp to summon Deer Note and Amin. And then we will Synchro Summon with the Amin and the Deer Note into our Diabolantis, the Menacing Mantis. Chainlink 1, Diabolantis. Chainlink 2 will be Rising Carp, or Deer Note targeting the Rising Carp. And then we will send the Fengli, the Soldier Palm. So now we can summon that back. And you might be wondering why I'm playing Fengli in this deck in particular. It just seemed like the best plant or insect to play in this kind of deck. It being a level 1 tuner was also incredibly useful with the Ancient Fairy Dragon to be able to make Crystal Wing. So I really liked that, which is why it got played. Make the Mantis a tuner, and then you make Ultimaya Zolkin. Then from there, you can actually just go ahead and set your Theosis, which will then trigger the Zolkin to summon the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon will then destroy the Jam Extreme Session. And then we can go ahead and grab Primitive Planet Reichphobia. Activate Reichphobia to add Scareclaw Kashtira. And we are pretty much set up to go here. It's a little different because we don't have, we had to start with the planet, but you can still do a lot of cool stuff here. So one thing to consider is that you could actually link these two into a copy of Heavenly Dragon Spheres. And then you could summon your Scareclaw Kashtira, banishing your Unicorn, and then you could link these two into a IAP Masquerena, and then It's Theosis. Then you activate your Birth, get back your Scareclaw Kashtira, activate the Theosis to special summon your Fenrir, and then you can use Fenrir to add the Rise Heart, use Rise Heart, and then you'll use Rise Heart's effect, banishing the Theosis from your deck to make it a level 7, and now you're locked into Xyz monsters as well because you special summoned it with its own effect. Add back your Unicorn, and then you can overlay into the Rise Heart. Or you could overlay, before you use the Rise Heart effect to banish the Theosis from deck, you could overlay the Fenrir and the Scareclaw into Shangri-Ira, and then banish and add back the Unicorn, and then make an Rise Heart that way. So then you're going to end either with Shangri-Ira, an extra monster off the Shangri-Ira, a Rise Heart, IP, Spheres, Baron, the effect there, and your extra defensive card, or an Rise Heart for 3, IP, Spheres, and Baron, and a defensive card. So those are just kind of like the basic combos. Let me know, like I said, down in the comment section below if you guys think of any ways to make this more efficient. I would love to hear it. Let me know if you've enjoyed this conversation. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All the support is super appreciated, guys. Until next time, thank you so much.